on this episode of Money Barn.
Oh,
Personally, I think you ought to maybe hold on to it.
what the hell are you doing, Lee?
Aha.
If there's more items like this, it's my auction. Otherwise, I'm screwed.
20 minutes to showtime. There's 12 cars here. This is gonna be tricky.
For generations, folks have been stashing prized possessions in one place, in the American Barn.
Today, these treasure-filled time capsules are heading for the auction block.
Across the country, auctioneers go head-to-head to get the sale.
This auction's got to be mine. It's got my name written all over it.
You think I'm gonna let these other fools make money?
These other guys' prices are as inflated as their egos.
All that matters is who can make the money.
Because profits this big could only be raised in a barn.
Sold!
We're heading to Manheim, Pennsylvania, home of the world's largest auto auction. There's basically a vintage car in every garage in this town. Today we're heading to the barn of Mr. and Mrs. Campbell. This guy's a car-loving nut job with an absolutely beautiful property. So these auctioneers might be hauling home a trunk full of money.
This is my hometown. This is where our business is. The Adcock family has a bunch of businesses in this area. That's a real hometown advantage. None of these guys are gonna come in and take any business from me on my turf. Heck, the Campbells probably already know who I am.
Manheim is car town. It's also Mike's town, but not today.
I heard they have a couple of high-end cars, but I don't really know cars. So hopefully they have something I do know about, because I'm gonna latch onto that like a clingy girlfriend, which I am not.
The broker told me the man's an international traveler, which is exactly a twin of me, and this will get me the deal. To accomplish this feat, I brought my lucky beret.
You know, everybody thinks I'm just a cowboy auctioneer, but under this 10-gallon hat is a 10-gallon brain. And Campbell's Barn was once owned by William Penn, and I'm gonna go through that barn with a fine-tooth comb. Manheim might be car country, but if there's stuff dating back to the founder of Pennsylvania, this car's gonna take a back seat. And God only knows what you'll find in there.
Welcome to Manheim, Pennsylvania. I'd like to introduce you to the Campbells. This tobacco barn's over 3,000 square feet. Dates back to the 1700s. I think we've got some automobiles in here as well. We're gonna give you 20 minutes inside and out. Let's go, guys.
I am seriously reconsidering my beret.
All right, guys, 20 minutes, let's go.
Sweet little buggy here. You know, you find these all over the place. They're fun to have, and you probably get like $300.
Just a little record player. It's not old enough to be worth anything. 50 bucks maybe on a good day.
We have tons of old car parts in here. Some carburetors up here. Down here, we have these old Hemi heads. It's pretty rough shape. We probably got about $2,000 worth of parts.
Welder, 250 amps. If it works, it could be worth $500.
I have found Frankenstein. A real Eddie Van Halen EVH Frankenstein guitar. I've seen them go anywhere from $15,000 to $25,000. This one here is a knockoff. Probably looking at $250.
This table and chairs is modern, not important. That's what people use to sit on until they break it. $500. Based on what I'm seeing, this beret has been more places international. Granted, this beret has its own passport.
Oh, now look what we have here, an old Dodge convertible. Floor's all rotted out. Pretty desperate condition here. Look at this, roof's gone. Oh, what's this? Wow, looky here. Ha ha. This is that exact car, one of 13. All right, it's not exactly historical, but there's enough Looney Tune car collectors out there who'll fix it up. Probably $2,500. I'd say tops, because it needs a lot of restoration.
Maybe there's something here. Japanese porcelain. This is Nippon, the largest maker of hand-painted porcelain. If you look at the bottom, it says when it was made. It tells you everything. It's a good example of the first wave of Japanese porcelain. If it's a complete tea set, $400. The porcelain's from Japan, which technically makes it international.
That is in some rough shape. I know it's a Pontiac, and we got the hood up top, 326 hood. This is definitely not a complete Firebird. There is great vintage cars in barns all over Manheim. Unfortunately, this isn't one of them. If I can get anything for this car, it's gonna be like maybe 600 bucks for scrap metal.
There's a waffle iron, and also turns into a griddle. Probably from the 50s, 10 bucks.
Collector spoons. This is from Switzerland, Geneva. This whole box is $100.
I don't know what Mark is thinking. He looks like he's about to solve mysteries or something. They want an auctioneer, dude, not a French mime.
This is kind of a cute harvest table. It's not old, but somebody'd spend maybe 50 bucks on it.
My brother would like something like this, a little go-kart.
It looks like it needs a little bit of work. Yeah, I don't really know anything about that. I'm probably not gonna get this sale.
10 minutes, guys. Let's go. You only got 10 minutes, and there's still things to look at outside.
Yeah, all right. Ooh. Looks like an Alice Chalmers. Pretty old. I don't know, 50s, 40s. The Alice Chalmers Model B was one of the first electric starting tractors. It was built specifically for smaller farms. It's a great little size. It's a good color, too. It's a nice orange. Finally, something with an engine that Mike doesn't know about. I would say I could get maybe $1,000 for it.
Oh. That's a pretty bad Camaro right there. Really cool. This thing is definitely set up for drag racing. Big fat back tires, different seats. They have a roll bar installed. Every guy wants one thing, a kick-ass muscle car. And this is the Mac Daddy of them all. Looking on this back window, it has a 10.89 here. That means it's track time. That means this car was hauling ass. This thing is probably going 130 on the track. If this was one of the first ones ever built, could be worth some big money.
This could be the holy grail of dragster.
Look what I'm standing on here. Look at these planks. This is from one tree. You got 16-inch boards here. Looking at this old barn, could be from the 1800s. Probably looking at $2,000 worth of wood here. It's antique wood's what I came for. This stuff is like crack to auction goers. At one time, this was William Penn's homestead. He lived here. If this wood goes back to his time, this could be worth a phenomenal amount of money.
The chest by itself is meaningless unless something inside is worthwhile. Hope chests were in vogue as far back as medieval Europe. It's where women stored all their treasures for their wedding day, waiting for the Prince Charming to show up. My personal hope chest is empty because there is no hope. It's American, $150. This is so much crap I can't stand it. Everywhere I look, there are planes, a lot of them. They're not worth anything, like $10. Mannheim may be the home of the largest car auctions. However, I've seen houses of pancakes that are more international and didn't waste my time. Ah, let's see what's here. Aha. Ah, let's see what's here. Aha, silver. These are 19th century, early 20th century silver towels. They're from China. They're important. It says 99999 on here. So that's pure silver. But we've got several pounds of silver here. They're worth at least $3,000. You don't ordinarily find this in this country. They have to have bought it outside. Finally, something worthy of my beret. If there's more items like this, it's my auction. Otherwise, I'm screwed.
Pepsi vending machine. Looks like it's in pretty good condition. 50 cents, meaning it's pretty old. Funny enough, the first vending machines actually dispensed holy water. This piece is a double win because Pepsi collectors and vending machine collectors would be interested in it. You don't see vending machines very often. I think it's probably a pretty collectible item. I'd say maybe a safe bet of $300.
Now, this is what I'm talking about. This is a drag car. Look at the slicks on the back. Hood scoop, aluminum cast wheels. This is a racing machine. I know a thing or two about drag. Pink was my favorite color back then. Had a nice body. Oh, leather. They called me El Dorado. I just love drag. Racing.
All right, you guys, you got 5 minutes to get out of the barn.
There's a generator switch. That means there must be a generator around here. Probably looking at a couple $100, but the generator is where your money's at.
This is just a wall mount lamp. It's not worth anything. Someone crazy might spend $25 on it.
Obviously, somebody loves RC toys. A whole lot of this stuff, I'd probably put it at around like $300.
Last look, guys. Let's go. You got 1 minute.
That is cute little 50cc crotch rocket. Oh, yeah. These will really get up and haul the mail. Looks like it's in pretty good shape. You're probably looking at an easy $750 to $850. This is an adult toy here.
If that's Lee's idea of an adult toy, we need to have a little chat.
Ah, It's a copy of a $5 note in pure silver. This could have a lot of value. Here it looks like some gold coins. This is 1999, so they're current production, but they're still gold coins. $100. This is from the Wright Brothers National Memorial. Silver coin. If no other reason, it's silver. It could be as much as $50. But when you start adding 50 and 50 and 50 and 100 and 100 and 100 and 200 and 300 and 500, 700, 1,000, you've got a lot of money in that little box.
Everyone out, let's go. Let's close this thing up.
That Alice Chalmers is exactly what I need to distract them from all that car talk.
Now that I know that they actually have silver here, I'm gonna have to show them my tribal tattoos and convince them I've been around the world.
If this dragster is what I think it is, we're sitting on a mountain of money.
That Camaro is a sweet drag car. But the only way to beat Mike in his own game is with this.
All right, everyone, it's time to sell yourself to the Campbells.
That Camaro is one of a kind. And personally, I think an auction like this wouldn't attract the right buyers.
What the hell are you doing, Lee? The car is the sale.
I think you ought to hold on to that Camaro and put it in my classic car auction later in the year.
Obviously, the Camaro and the other cars were the standout. They're front and center when you walk in. You can't miss them. But, I'm a farm girl. I like the tractor. Cars are interesting to me. It's just not something I do on a regular basis like Mike over here, who sells used cars down the road every day. But
You can call me a used car salesman all you want, as long as I get to sell that Camaro. As far as I'm concerned, if you don't have that Camaro in the sale, you're missing out on the biggest item you got. And that's American muscle car history. You'd have to have 4 of those barns full of Alice Chalmers to even maybe get somewhere close to that Camaro. So let's worry about the big items, let's worry about the big money, and let's worry about a big check going into your pocket.
It would be suicide by vehicle if Mike convinced them to sell it to that local crowd.
The kind of things you have will require the time that it takes to explain why the silver towels are important, and because I've traveled internationally, and make me feel a little more comfortable in being able to present it. What I really want to say is, these guys are idiots, pick me, and we'll both make money.
How about we talk about numbers for a little bit? Lee, what are you thinking?
I would say 14, 15,000 minus the car with a guarantee of 10,000, or you keep my commission.
Leave out the Camaro for right now. Everything else, $10,000, and I will guarantee you 5,000.
Probably 12 to 18,000. I would guarantee 10.
my estimate was 10, and I would feel comfortable with a guarantee of 5 as well.
All right, everyone, you've given us a lot to talk about. Thank you.
Thank you.
We kind of have 2 big decisions to make here. 1, we have to choose an auctioneer. And 2, we have to decide whether or not you're going to sell that Camaro. What do you think about Emily?
She had a charm that really captured our attention.
I liked Mark's slow approach.
You think he's the right fit for this area?
People would really appreciate leading up to an item, and describing it.
Let's talk about Lee for a minute with his thoughts of not offering the car.
It does have a little bit of truth to what Lee said, and we were receptive to that.
I think Mike may bring people that are local.
He's definitely the hometown favorite.
All right, so you think you've made a decision?
I think we have.
I think so.
Great, let's go tell him. All right, everyone, given us a lot to discuss, but a decision has to be made. And the decision is... All right, everyone, you've given us a lot to discuss. And the decision is...
Lee.
Yes. Congratulations, but we're not going to sell the Camaro.
Look at that. Campbell picked me, and he took my advice. Who's the king of Mannheim now, Mikey?
Of all the places to lose here in my hometown, not happy about that one.
I really thought that Mike was the guy to beat on this one, and then Foghorn Leghorn swooped in.
I didn't see that one coming.
Yeah, this guy and I, we were going to travel the world together. When you think of international, you think of antiques and jewels and relics and art and important pieces. Thai lady boys, but nothing. What a joke.
Ready to go to work?
Yep, let's do it. I already seen everything, all the big items inside the barn. I just haven't had an opportunity to go out back and find out what's out there. Hopefully something will make up for that Camaro. Yeah, you got a sandstone grinding wheel here. You never seen the movies where they have a donkey on one side, pushing around in a circle, grinding things, hard stones. That's what that was for. This is one of the earliest ways they used to sharpen the flint on axes. Holy. Ah, it's a diesel. It's a diesel, Cecil. You got that big switch box in there with this diesel generator. This will run forever. If you had a big bulk tank, you could run a small town off this. Easy, 25,000 on this one. Nobody's mentioned the generator out back. That'll give me my guarantee, and then some. So I'll look to you before I say sold.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Campbell said he's gonna put a reserve on all the big items. A reserve is a minimum price the seller is willing to take for that item. The best way to kill an auction, put a reserve on things. When buyers hear about the reserves, they just won't show up.
We've got 20 minutes to showtime, and there's 12 cars here.
Maybe I should start waving to people and get them to stop.
That's not our problem. That's Lee's problem.
But it could be me, it could be you. And if that's the case, we'd have to put you in a bikini and make you stand on the road.
I don't think that even worked today.
Lee has a bunch of reserves. He has no Camaro to sell. Blackman's making the popcorn because this one's gonna be a show.
I'd like to welcome everyone here today. Looks like I'm gonna have to average $1,000 a person just to hit my guarantee. I'd like to get started with the generator. This is an Onan generator. It's diesel. It's 150 kilowatt.
Ah, yes, I would love some coffee with my exhaust fumes this morning.
We have to look to the seller before I say sold on this generator. All right, now I got $3,000 over here to start. 3, thank you. And now 5, 3, now 4, 4,000. How about 3,500? We'll take the slow road. 32, 31. Diesels last forever. Are we gonna do it?
Can't do it.
What will it take?
It's gonna take 12.5.
We're way off the money. Next item. I give him a $10,000 guarantee, and I hope the hell I ain't eating crow on this one.
I'll just keep it.
This keeps going like this, I'm gonna be working for free. Raise your hand if you know what I'm selling.
Wow, it almost makes you feel bad for Lee.
Now look at the beautiful table. It's got 2 leaves, got 2 captains, 6 straight chairs, best looking legs I've seen all day.
I'm feeling a little obligated as an auctioneer to encourage the 2.5 people that are here to bid on this stuff.
What do you say?
This is good stuff.
Give me $50 start. About 50 here now, 50 now, about 75, and 100.
That's $10 a chair.
25 to 125. Are we having fun yet?
Which is so ridiculously cheap, it's
You
replaced.
shouldn't even be thinking. Blink.
140, 150, 160, 150, 160, 160. Sold. She got a nice table there.
That's unbelievable.
Wow, this is the definition of a tough crowd.
Sold. Sold. Mark that. Cheap, cheap, cheap.
Wow.
Sold. Sold. I think this is Coke country.
I bet Lee really wishes he had that Camaro right now.
Here's a little mini rocket, 49 cc, so you know it'll get up and fly. 300. It's got a $500 copper paint job. $200. Oh my. $100. $200. $100. We should have started there. 100 and a quarter. 150. 150. Yes, we're gonna give you both tires. 175. Come on now, you started it. 175. Thank you for your help. Sold. $150. Now we have some silver coming up.
It would be great to think of Emily and I just helping Lee out of the goodness of our heart. I've got everybody else at this auction to spend their money. My intentions are not as pure as the silver I'm about to buy.
Now these are the Chinese ingots, and these are 999.99. Your man's out 175, 180, 175. Sold. $175. Bidder number 1 takes all 3 at that price. So $36 a piece. So $190 right up front.
Thank you, Lee, for the cheap silver.
So right up front. That silver turned out to be a gold mine. I just hope it's a $10,000 one.
I can certainly say this was a rough day, and I'm glad like hell it wasn't me. There's no people, there's no money, there's no auction.
All right, guys, so sale day's over. How do you think Lee did?
I'm really disappointed with some of the results.
I thought there would be at least 200-300 people here.
Whose fault is that?
I think it would have been better if the reserve was a little bit lower.
Well, I'm not in the wholesale business.
Right, but everybody comes to an auction to get a good deal. Advertising reserves for an auction is like putting handcuffs on the auctioneer.
Well, you know what I was looking for and what we got offered was night and day. Feels like I could have done better at a yard sale.
You haven't even heard the numbers yet. Lee, I think it's time we show them how you did today.
Well, total sale was $8,599.25.
That's actually better than we thought you did. And
You willing to give Lee a little bit of a paycheck today, even though he said he wouldn't take a check if he got less than $10,000?
he made the bet. He's not going to honor it?
Well, he's willing to honor it. I'm just trying to help the man out.
I think you're hitting the road packing with nothing in your pockets.
I know Lee's one of the best auctioneers in the state. Just wasn't his day. Sometimes that happens.
I made him over $8,500. Yeah, and I worked for nothing. That's wonderful. Here's how I look at it. I almost got my guarantee, and the Campbells get to keep the big items. I did my job.
Sometimes the auctioneer wins, sometimes the auctioneer loses. Better luck next time.